guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. Today's video is going to be another ranking video. So a little while ago I did a very long video, ranking pretty much every Sylvanian family that's been made to date. And there were a couple of comments on that video asking if I would do something similar for the Sylvanians who had jobs or professions. So that's what today's video is going to be. So this is a tier list template I've actually put together myself, and I think I've made it public, so I'm going to put the link in the description should you want to make your own. So the Sylvanians on this list are Sylvanians who have a specific job in kind of the official Sylvanian law. So they either came with a shop building or maybe an accessory pack or maybe in a twin pack that was to accompany a shop building. And it's quite UK focused, as that's just what I'm most familiar with and what I had in my mind when I was making the list. So you can see these images down here are ones that I've taken myself of figures actually in my collection. And then there's a few down the end here of other figures I thought of that aren't in my collection but I wanted to include on the list. So there's nowhere near as many as there was for the other tier list, so we shouldn't be here quite as long as that. I guess the next thing to do is to explain my tiering. The tiers I've selected for this are the same as I used last time, but for anyone who hasn't seen that video. So the top tier, or like the S tier, is called Perfection. And that is for Sylvanians where I have absolutely no notes on how they could be better. So their mould is perfect, their uniform is really great and suitable for their job, and they're just all round perfection. Adorable is the next tier down, and that's kind of like A tier. That's for Sylvanians where they're very close to perfection, but there's just something holding them back. Maybe their uniform isn't quite practical for their job, or maybe it's just not quite the nicest colours or something like that. Then cute tier is the kind of middle of the road tier, and I think that's where most of the figures will probably end up. Every Sylvanian is kind of cute by default, so this kind of feels like the most obvious starting point when looking at ranking a Sylvanian. Then we get down into the slightly less positive space, so could take or leave. These are Sylvanians that I could take or leave. In the context of this, maybe their uniform isn't particularly interesting, or they're available in the family pack and kind of in this individual format, and the uniform isn't really adding very much. And then not my cup of tea. I'm not sure if we're going to end up with any in here today because I absolutely love a Sylvanian in a uniform, but this would be if the uniform, in my opinion, was completely rubbish and not my cup of tea. So let's go ahead and get started with the rankings. So first up here we have a pair. So these are the Bearbury Bear bus conductors from the Flair era. We've got Stan and Olive Bearbury, and these are going in perfection. We're starting off very strong. I absolutely love this pair of figures. So they came in a 2-pack with some accessories like the bus ticket machine, and Stan has a packed lunch and a flask. I really love their uniforms. So they were marketed to go with the Woodland bus, which is the brown and cream version of the bus. So they match it perfectly. They've got very punny names. So Stan and Olive, I believe, is a reference to a British sitcom, an older one now, called On the Buses. So very apt for their profession. And we really needed a bus driver and conductor in Sylvania, as the bus didn't have one before them in the law. So no notes on how I would make these better. Absolutely love them. Perfection. Then next up here we have Barbara Dale. Barbara is from the sheep family. She is available in the family pack, but this version of her comes bundled in with the popcorn trike. And she's wearing this very cute uniform which matches the popcorn trike. For me, I think she's going to go in cute. I like her outfit. I think it's very nice. The colours on it match with the popcorn trike very well. But if I was just looking at her, it's a little generic, I guess. It doesn't scream popcorn seller at me, but it's still a very cute uniform nonetheless. Then here we have Cecile Butterglove. So again, Cecile is from the Butterglove family and she comes in the family set as the mother, but she also has come separately in a few different guises, and this one here is from the handicraft sewing shop set, which was a Japanese exclusive product. So in this set, she's marketed as being a kind of seamstress, tailor, handicrafter. It's perhaps a little difficult to see on the picture, but I think she is absolutely adorable. Her clothes have a very handmade, kind of crafty feel. She's got this nice headdress on as well, which matches. She's kind of wearing a little waistcoat with a lace-up front. I just think she really gives me handicrafter vibes. Next up here, I think this is Dottie Buttercup, a member of the Buttercup cow family. Now, she's not the mother of the family. She's actually, in the lore, she is an aunt of the family. And she came with the farm shop. She's in quite a plain outfit, kind of a normal dress, just with the apron. So I think she will go into cute. I like the idea that she's an aunt to the family, so it's not just Daisy, the mother, in a different dress. She is her own character with her own very specific job, but I wouldn't say her uniform is anything particularly spectacular. She definitely looks like she could be working on a stool with the apron to keep her dress nice and clean. Then here we have another pair. So these actually came separately. I don't know why I've taken them in the same picture, but I guess they go together and complement each other quite nicely. So on the left we have Finley Osborne, and he came with the fish and chips van that was released here in the UK. And on the right we have Francesca Osborne, his wife, and she came in a set called the Fish Fryer set. So it came with some more accessories that you could use with the fish and chip van. These are going in perfection. Flair was really hitting it out of the park with some of these job sets that they were putting out. I absolutely love their uniforms. The van is blue, so they match with it perfectly. But Finley has this very cute little red bow tie on that just adds a pop of colour. He's got his apron on. She's got an apron on. And they just complement each other so nicely. They also look great set up with the van. With the fish fryer set also came some little paper hats that you could put on, which just adds and elevates the outfit even more. Sadly, I couldn't find them when taking this picture, but trust me, they are absolutely perfection. Then next up down here is Roxy Reynard. This particular iteration of Roxy is from the Tomy era. She came with an interior design set. I'm going to pop her in adorable. A bit like Cecile, she's giving me the vibes of an interior designer. This kind of apron she's wearing, it's kind of a whole wraparound, very practical for when she's kind of moving furniture around or painting or whatever it is she might be doing. She looks to me like she could be an interior designer. And then we have her husband down here. This is Eric Reynard, and he came with a DIY set with a load of different tools and paints and things like that. His outfit is quite plain, but I absolutely love the apron he comes with. It's got pockets that can fit his tools in, as you can see here. And it ties around the back really nicely. And he just looks like a little workman. He looks like he is a handyman and he would be able to fix whatever needed fixing. So he is also going in adorable next to his wife. And you'll have probably worked out by now that there's no rhyme, reason or science behind this. This is purely me going on feelings and vibes alone. I'd love to hear about your opinions though down in the comments, so do let me know, or if you create your own tier list, I'd love to see it. So here we have Mr. Mace's. He is good perfection. I have no notes for Mr. Mace's. Mr. Mace's is, or Cecil Mace's, came with the wedding photographer set. So he came with a camera and all the bits and pieces you'd need to be a wedding photographer. He has quite a strong role and defined job in the lore. But even more so in my village, he is just the go-to man for all of your occasion photography. He does weddings, he does fates, he does birthdays, christenings. If it's an occasion, he does it. He also has his own photo studio, so he is very near and dear. In terms of his outfit, I think he does look like a little wedding photographer. He's just smart enough to fit in at the wedding without being so smart that he kind of takes the limelight away from any of the guests. He's got this kind of a little maybe frumpy, homely kind of vibe. He just looks like a very nice person to be around. I feel like he'd put you at ease when he's behind the camera. Down here we have Bob Blackberry. So Bob came with one edition of the Farmer's Cart, and next to him we have Penley Buttercup, who came with a different edition of the Farmer's Cart. We'll do them one by one, but you can see they're wearing pretty much the same uniform, just different editions over the years. So starting with Bob Blackberry, I'm going to put him in adorable. I really love the Blackberry rabbits. I think they've got such a nice patterning with the dark spot on their eyes. I think he definitely looks like he could be carting around vegetables. He's got a kind of greengrocery vibe to him with the green in his outfit and the brown apron. And I just think he's absolutely adorable. Then we come to Penley Buttercup. So I think Penley is Dottie's husband. He is uncle to the Buttercup cow family. And he came with a later edition of the farmer's cart, or maybe the earlier edition. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was the later one though. He complements Dottie perfectly, as in he is bringing the produce to her farm shop. He has the exact same uniform as Bob, and I'm really umming and ahhing where he goes. I think I'll put him in adorable as well. Everything I said about Bob is true also about Penley, and in my village I like to have them working together, and then it looks like their matching uniform is part of their business. Down here we have the Bramble Hedgehogs. Again, these two came separately, but I put them together since their uniforms are so close. I'm not sure of their first names, but Mrs. Bramble came with the Brick Oven Bakery, and Mr. Bramble came with a pizza delivery bike set. I think the pizza delivery was meant to be out of the Brick Oven Bakery, so they go together very nicely. These were Epoch era buildings, I think. These are going in perfection. The uniforms are lovely. I love that they match. I love the green checks on them and Mrs. Bramble's headscarf. I just think they look really, really smart. It's a very defined uniform. You can tell it's not just normal clothes. It is very much a uniform. Christopher Appleblossom. Perfection. I have no notes for Christopher. Christopher is one of my absolute favourite Sylvanian figures. He came with arguably the best bakery, the Watermill Bakery, my personal favourite bakery out of all of the ones we've got in Sylvania. His outfit itself is quite plain. It's just green overalls with a kind of checked brown shirt, but he has this lovely apron which is green and cream and has baker or bakery written on it, and I love that. He has such a strong kind of presence in my village. He's the go-to baker, and that's probably aiding his higher ranking a little bit, but I just love him so much. I know he's quite a favourite among Sylvanian collectors, so I think he deserves his place in the perfection tier. Then this is, I think her first name is Carol. She's definitely an Osborne bear. She's the Osborne mother. We'll call her Carol, but I'm very sorry if that's not her name. She came with the donut stand, and she's got an outfit that is not all that dissimilar to the bakery ones. So she's got a kind of orange underdress, white apron, and then this lovely green checked shawl. And the colours on this uniform match very well with the colours on the donut stand. And for that reason, she's going in adorable. I really like it when the uniform very obviously coordinates with the building or stand or bike or whatever it is that the Sylvanian is marketed to go with. And I just think her uniform is very, very cute. I especially like the little scarf that she has around her neck. That gives kind of baker vibes. Then we have Mr. Mulberry. I think his name might be Edmund, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I also think he's an uncle to the Mulberry family rather than the father, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. He came with the TierMaker set, so it came with paints and tools and things you use to make kind of dolls' houses and wooden trains and things like that. And I think he is adorable. Again, his uniform is quite plain, but he's got this lovely brown apron, and I just think he looks like a toy maker. He looks like he sits there and he makes toys, and his clothes kind of reflect that. I don't think I really have much more to say, but he gives toy maker vibes. Down here we have two figures who came in another twin pack. So this is Joyce and I think Bert Harvey. They are the Harvey Cat grandparents. I love this one because they're grandparents and it's just a little bit different to a lot of the other figures here who are the kind of adult figures. It's nice to have some grandparents thrown in the mix. They are the village store owners and they came out in the Flair era. And they are going again in perfection. The Flair era just had so many strong characters. I love their uniforms. Whilst they don't completely coordinate, they definitely look like uniforms rather than just normal clothes you'd go out and about in. The tops kind of match, they've got a brown and white vibe, but the rest is a bit higgledy-piggledy, but I kind of like that. It's kind of this like mum and pop shop kind of thing, and I just feel like they fit the vibes. Then here we have a newer figure. This is, I think it's Elm Snowdrift, and she is the mother of the Snowdrift reindeer family. She is a delivery postal worker and she is going in cute. I really like her uniform, but we'll get on to some of the other Sylvanian postal workers a little bit later, and I just think their uniforms just pip this one to the post. I do think it's very, very cute though, especially like this lacy bit, and the hat is adorable. She comes in a set with a little delivery bike as well and some parcels to be delivering. Here we have Nurse Florence Merriweather, one of the oldest, if not the oldest nurse in the Sylvanian range. She is going in perfection. I love her uniform. It really screams 1940s, 1950s nurse vibes. She's got the bright red cape and the headdress with the medical symbol on it. She's got the blue with the white apron. I just think her outfit is wonderful. Really, really obvious from first glance that she is a nurse. Then similarly on that vibe, we have Dr. Murdoch here. I'm afraid I can't remember his first name, but he is also from the Tomy era, and I think the first Doctor set that we had in the range. He came with his little medical bag, stethoscope, and some other medical bits and bobs. And again, he is going in perfection. He's got this big white coat and very smart outfit underneath, and it's just immediately obvious to me that he is a doctor, and I don't think you could confuse him for any other profession. Then we're going into a string of kind of medical uniforms now, so we'll probably rattle through these quite quickly. So this is Emily Nightingale, I think, of the Nightingale Rabbits, of which there is, I think, her and her husband over here. So Emily, again, is in a very obviously nurse's uniform. I'm going to put this one in adorable because, to me, this is the epitome of nurse's uniform in Sylvania. I just really love that 1940s, 1950s vibe of it. I think it fits with the whole era that a lot of the Sylvanian buildings portray. But Emily is still very cute nonetheless, and very obviously a nurse. Then here we have Bree Norwood, I think is her name, Nurse Bree Norwood. She is a nurse at the Sylvanian school. She came with a school set, and I love her uniform. It's again got that kind of 1950s, 1960s kind of vibe to it. I really like the colour. I like that she's quite differentiated from the other kind of medical professionals in Sylvania. Her uniform is different enough to differentiate her from them. I also love how the little headdress looks with her ears poking out. I just think she's very, very cute. Then we have Mrs. Brightfield. So she's from the Brightfield goat family. I believe she's the mother, and I'm afraid I don't know her first name. She is a pharmacist. She came with a pharmacy set. It was a Japanese exclusive though, I think. And she is going in adorable. I really love the colour of her uniform. Again, she's differentiated enough that you can tell that she kind of is maybe not a nurse, but she's still some sort of medical professional. I really like the pale kind of lavender purple colour, and it looks really nice with the colours on the stands in the set that she comes with. So adorable tier for her. Then we have Mr. Clearwater. He is a vole, and I think the vole family were UK exclusives potentially. He is a dentist, and he came with the dentist set. I'm putting him in perfection because I absolutely adore him. The idea of this tiny little dentist, and I'm quite scared of dentists, so he makes me feel a little bit better about dentists in general. Just feel like he couldn't possibly be mean or shouty. He just has such a happy little face and he just looks such a nice guy. So perfection tier for him. Then we have Mr. Nightingale. I'm not sure of his first name. And I think that's his surname, but I'm not 100% sure. He came in the paramedic set and he drives the ambulances in Sylvania, or ambulance. I'm going to pop him next to his wife. I do like his outfit. I like the green on it especially. I think here in the UK, paramedics wear this kind of green. So it's nice to have that called out in the otherwise white outfit. I just think maybe these outfits are just a little bit plain when compared to some of the other medical outfits. And then finally down here, I think he is a periwinkle rabbit, but I'm not certain on that. He is a dentist. He's a dentist from the Epoch era. The set that he comes with is very similar to the one Mr. Clearwater comes with, just with different colours. His is kind of green and white, and this one is pink and white. Again, I'm going to put him in adorable. He also doesn't look like a mean dentist. He doesn't look like he'd shout at you if you hadn't brushed your teeth perfectly. But if I had to pick one of these two to have as my dentist, bearing in mind I'm scared of dentists, I would choose Mr. Clearwater. He just looks like completely unthreatening, possibly because he's so small. Then we have another pair set. These are Keats cats, and they are in the patisserie chef and patisserie waitress outfits. They came with a Japanese edition of a cake shop, and these outfits could also be bought separately in a patisserie chef and patisserie waitress kind of accessory set where you didn't get the figures, you just got the outfits. But there was also a special edition with the figures in the outfits included with the building. Perfection. I absolutely adore these uniforms. I think they are gorgeous. They fit perfectly with the cake shop patisserie kind of theme. I especially love the chef's outfit with this brown checker pattern on it. He really looks like a patisserie chef or maybe a chocolatier. He just screams cake shop vibes. And then the waitress outfit is beautiful. Got this lovely pink underdress and then this big kind of flouncy, ruffly apron with a big bow and matching hat like you would see on a waitress or a maid. I have no notes of how I would improve these outfits. I have no notes on which figures I would put them in instead. I think the Keats cats work perfectly in this theme. So 10 out of 10, have nothing to add. Then here we have Bill and Wanda Wadlington, or should I say the Mayor and Mayoress of Sylvania. So in the Flair era, Bill and Wanda were the canon mayor and mayoress. I think we have moved on to a new mayor now. I think it might be the Husky Father. But in my village, it will always be Bill and Wanda. They come with the mayoral medallion. So how could I possibly take that honour away from them? Again, for their strong characters and strong presence in the lore, they're going in perfection tier. They also have a very fond place in my village. See, they're my mayor and mayoress. They go to all of the big events. I love that they come with these mayoral medallions. I'm not sure if that's something other countries have, but here in the UK, the mayor really would wear a big gold chain to signify that they are the mayor of a particular town or village. I think they look suitably smart. I love Wanda's outfit with her hat. She looks very prim and proper. Lots of lace and bows. Love Bill's top hat and his very smart red jacket. I just think they look fantastic. And maybe this is less of a uniform, but Mayor and Mayoress is definitely a job. Next up, we have Veronica Cakebread and her daughter Melinda Cakebread. And these are the uniforms for the village cake shop. Veronica came bundled in with the cake shop, and you could buy Melinda in a separate cake decorating set that was marketed to go with the cake shop. So again, I've included them together because the uniforms are so similar. Again, perfection. I thought the cute tier would have way more, but I'm just really partial to a very nice uniform. These are lovely. They really match the vibe and colours of the cake shop really well. They've got pink and white in them, and the aprons are brown and white stripe. I think they go really nicely with the fur colour on the cake bread poodles as well. And they, again, like these ones, just scream cake shop, patisserie, baker kind of vibes. And I absolutely love them. I think they're really well designed. Another favourite, another one going straight in perfection. This is Mr. Webster. And Mr. Webster is the village milkman. He's from the Tomy era, and he came in a set with his milk cart and milk churns in order to do his milk rounds. I love Mr. Webster. I love that he's a duck because I love the duck mould anyway. I think it's one of the cutest moulds in the range. He's got this adorable little flat cap, smart little collar, blue and white striped apron, and then he's wearing kind of blue overalls underneath. He's also got his little side bag, presumably to pick up his fees for the milk. And I don't know how to explain it. He just looks like a milkman. Like this kind of flat cap vibe, very 1950s. He just looks like a milkman. He also has a very strong place in my village. He's a bit of a gossip. He's just got such a lot of character, and I absolutely love him. Then we have the Reverend Waters. I think this is the only Reverend or Vicar character that we have in the entire range. And I'm not sure if he was a UK exclusive or not, but the figure that I have came in a celebration wedding set for the royal wedding between William and Kate. So that was back in 2012, I think. And he, again, is going in perfection. I just love him. He's a cute little vicar. A vicar is just kind of an essential part of British village life. Like, we have a lot of sitcoms, and they would always have a vicar in them. We had one about a vicar called The Vicar of Dibley, which is very funny. A bit older now, but just a classic trope. If you've got a sitcom in a village, there's usually a vicar involved, and he just fulfills that role in my village perfectly. Here we have Betty Blackberry, and she is Bob's wife. Another Blackberry rabbit with the lovely markings with the patch on the eye. Betty came with a juice bar set. So she is the owner of the juice bar. And I'm going to pop her in, maybe in Adorable. I think her uniform suffers a bit from the same pitfalls as Dottie's does, in that it's a very pretty dress she's wearing, very pretty apron, but it's not particularly distinctive of what she does. It looks like a uniform, but just by looking at it, you could probably tell that she runs some sort of shop or stall or something like that, but not exactly which one. Still think it's very, very cute though. Then here we have two cottontail rabbits. Again, these were a twin pack. They are from the Sylvanian Kitchen restaurant, and they are the chef and waitress set. These are going in perfection for me. The uniforms here are just so lovely. The chef, I love the red accents to give a bit of pop of colour from the white. And the waitress, I love the green and yellow. It's a really kind of retro, vintage kind of vibe to her uniform. And the lace on her headpiece is very pretty. They match the coloration of the Sylvanian Kitchen restaurant perfectly. And they're on all the branding for the Sylvanian Kitchen, so it seems only right that they go into the perfection tier. Then we have another twin pack, again from the Flair era. Flair was just hit after hit after hit. So this is the School Lollipop Man and Dinner Lady set. Lollipop Man is Eric Reynard again, under another guise. And the dinner lady is Mrs. Patches. I'm afraid I can't recall her first name off the top of my head. They are going in perfection, particularly for the Lollipop Man outfit. I'm presuming Lollipop Men or Crossing Guard, or I'm not sure what other names you'd have for it, exist in other countries, but this outfit is just an icon of British society. Everyone remembers their Lollipop Man or Lollipop Lady from school. And I just love that this job got translated into Sylvania. Of course, the dinner lady, another very important role in the school setting. Mrs. Patches' outfit is very nice, but this is definitely imperfection, mostly for Mr. Reynard over here. He's even got the crossing guard stick. Then here we have Aristotle Treefellow. He is the head teacher of the original Tomi era school. He remains head teacher in my village. He's a really unique mould. The owls in general are a really unique mould. I love his little outfit with the flat cap. I can't remember what these are called, but they're very academic, intellectual kind of hat. I love his little bow tie as well. Again, for the strength of his character, he's going into perfection. I can't imagine another head teacher for my village, and you can take one look at him and it's immediately obvious that he is a teacher. Then here we have Mr. Bearberry. Mr. Bearberry is the music teacher at the school, and he came with a music lesson set that came with lots of different instruments. I think for Mr. Bearberry, he will go into cute. I do like his outfit. It is very cute. I don't think it's, again, immediately obvious what his job role is. He does look a bit like a teacher, I suppose, but he could also just dress this way, and that's just his fashion choice, I think. I just don't think his uniform is quite as instantly recognisable as some of the other ones. This is Antonio Patches. He came bundled in with the UK edition of the Sylvanian beauty salon. He is a hairstylist, beauty salon owner, and I love him. He's going in perfection. His uniform is again instantly recognisable as what his profession is. The uniform has pockets on it that you can pop his scissors and comb in, as demonstrated here. The colours on the uniform match really well with the beauty salon building, and he is just a 10 out of 10. Really great design. Then here we have Serafina Mainley, and she is the new hairdresser. She is from the Mainley pony family, and she came with a beautician set and is marketed to go with the new Sylvanian salon. Serafina is going in the adorable tier. Again, her uniform is great. She's got an apron where again you can pop in her scissors and another accessory. I just think when you look at these two uniforms together, this one is more instantly recognisable, at least here in the UK, of what a hairdresser uniform usually looks like. Not that I don't like Serafina's, I think it's very pretty. The colours especially, really nice pastels, and it goes well with the salon that she's marketed to go with. But for me, I just like this uniform that little bit more. Then here we have an interesting one. This is Grace Cheshire, but she is just modelling this uniform for us. So I was umming and ahhing whether to include uniforms that came in a pack on their own, just the clothes without a figure attached. And in the end, I decided I wouldn't include those. However, a few have slipped through, probably because it slipped my mind when I was taking the photos and making this template, that Grace did not actually come with this uniform, but she's so ingrained in my brain wearing this uniform in my village that I think that's how she slipped through the cracks. So I will rank her, but just keep in mind that this is more of a ranking from my own personal village. She is in the beautician uniform, which is a variant of Antonio's outfit. The beautician set came with this outfit and a beautician's trolley with lots of accessories for doing hair. I really like this uniform. I'm going to put it in the adorable tier, mainly because it doesn't come with a figure, and it would have been nice to actually have a set figure to be the beautician. I really like the outfit. It's a satin kind of fabric. It's a light pink and a darker pink, and you can't quite see it on the image here, I don't think, but there is also a pocket with two places to hold scissors and things. So also a very practical uniform. Then this down here is John Sainsbury's. He is a Sainsbury's bear, and the only Sainsbury's bear, I think. We have a supermarket here in the UK called Sainsbury's, and back in the Flair era, there were a few more kind of collaboration type products, and one of these was a little Sainsbury's shop. And with that shop came John Sainsbury's, the bear. The main colour of the branding of Sainsbury's is this lovely orange colour, so it makes sense that his apron is this colour. I'm going to pop him in the cute tier. Apart from the apron, the rest of his outfit is a little plain, and if you take the apron off, he just looks very normal. which is nice in a way because it means he can hang his apron up at the end of the day and go back out into society. Oh, another favourite. So this is PC Bobby Roberts, and he is perfection. PC Roberts was first released in the Tomy era, and then he got subsequent re-releases in the Flair era as well. He is, of course, a policeman, and I love this outfit. It's again a bit 1950s coded, very much like the uniforms here. Very kind of traditional village policeman vibe about him. I absolutely love his helmet. The mold on that is really good and really kind of accurate to how older police helmets were. I love the detail on his uniform. He's even got these little blue and white striped cuffs. He has a very strong character in the official lore, and then in my lore, he's just a bit bumbly because he's not got a lot to do. Sylvania is a very nice place. There's not a lot of crime. There's not really any crime at all because everybody is lovely to each other. So he spends most of his time looking for lost property, getting things that are stuck in places. Maybe someone's got their kite stuck in a tree. He's gonna get that down for them. And the rest of the time he spends eating sweets. He's got a very sweet tooth. So perfection for PC Robert. Here we have Marion Bright Eyes. Marion is from the Bright Eyes family. I think all the Bright Eyes family's members were obtainable through either the Flair era fan club or through accessory sets, job sets. Marion is a cafe waitress, and she came with the cafe waitress set. She came with some cakes and teas, coffees, things like that. And I think she was marketed to go with the Blackcurrant Cafe. In my village, she works in one of the bakeries. This uniform is very reminiscent of this one up here, and as such, it is going in adorable tier. This one just pips it to the post because it's got this lovely lace headdress, whereas this one is not quite as pretty. It's still very pretty though. The main uniform is quite similar. This one's a little bit more ruffly and scallopy. This one is a little bit more reserved. If we can really call a uniform with this big of a bow on the front reserved. I love it though. It's very pretty. Very obvious that she is working in some sort of cafe or cake shop. Really good uniform. Here we have another Tomy era figure. This is May Blossom, and she works at the florist shop. Now, May I'm going to put in cute tier, as if we took away her watering can, you could probably mistake her as a waitress or working in a cake shop or something like that, instead of the florist shop. Her uniform is very pretty. I love the lace on it. It's a little bit different to the lace we're used to seeing, but I think it's just not quite as instantly recognisable, so I'm going to pop it in cute tier. I do really, really love May though. She's a very cute figure. So here we have those postal workers that I was speaking about earlier in the video. So we have Pete Petite, the mailman or postman, and we have Samuel Stamp, the postman. So Pete Petite is from the Flair era, Samuel Stamp is from the Tomy era. Samuel Stamp is one of the first, I think Samuel Stamp might be the first Sylvanian figure I got in a uniform. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First of all, Pete Petite. He is perfection. I absolutely love his uniform. Again, it's giving quite a 1950s postman vibe. He's got this bag. Helpfully, in this picture, I've angled him the wrong way, but on the bag it says post, and it's got room in there for him to put his letters. He's got the blue and red uniform vibe for the post office. And then Samuel Stamp is, of course, going in perfection as well. I think these two look so perfect together. Their uniforms, whilst not exactly matching, could definitely be from the same branch. Samuel Stamp also has his little post bag where he can put all his letters. The elastic on mine is super stretched out since I played with him so much when I was a child. Putting letters in his bag, taking them out and having him deliver them around Sylvania. I just really love the details on his outfit. I love that they both have this same style of hat. Samuel's is particularly cute as it's almost too big for him. He's a mouse mold, so he's very small and he almost looks like he's just too small for his uniform. But both of these are perfection. Then we have another pair set. So these are from the Flair era and they're the ice cream sellers. I think they're Beaufort polar bears. and I cannot remember their first names off the top of my head, but these are the little paper hats that I was mentioning before. So these are obviously the ones that came in the ice cream seller set, but these are the same sort of hats that Finley and his wife would have been wearing if I could have found them. But I think they just complete the outfit. They look very cute. These are going in perfection as well. The ice cream van in Sylvania is white. It's got some kind of pinks and blue detailing on it, so it really matches with the hat and the blues in their outfits. I think their outfits look really great together. Definitely give ice cream seller vibes. I think it was fun to have the polar bears be the ice cream sellers. Nice touch. And I just love how they look together. They look really coordinated. Another favourite, another perfection. Oh my goodness. So this is Horace Honeybear. He is from the Beekeeper set, which was another Flair era set, 2011 Down on the Farm range. And he is, of course, a beekeeper. His uniform is great. I've pulled the netting up here so that you can see his face, but it does come down and cover him as a beekeeper's uniform should to protect him from the bees. He's got his little, I think it's called a smoker, to use on his hive when he's getting his honey. Just great. I love that this is a job option in Sylvania. Feels very Sylvanian. I remember when this was announced being so excited for it to come out and me to get my hands on it, because I just thought it was such a cute, different job option. Then we have Cecile Butterglove again. This version of Cecile is from the, I think it's called the stationery shop set or the gift shop set. Kind of a little shop stand that sells pens, pencils, notebooks, paper, that kind of stuff. I'm going to pop her in the cute tier. She's again suffering from the same pitfalls as these guys over here, these three. Her outfit isn't so much a uniform as it is just a dress with an apron. It's a very pretty dress, very pretty apron, but she's not immediately recognisable as having a particular job or being that much different from the mother characters. So that just lets her down a little bit. She is still very cute, and I have her in my collection, so I could hardly put her in any lower. Then we have Elsie Buttercup, so another aunt of the Buttercup family. Elsie came with a set with an ice cream tricycle. Really lovely set, real summer vibes. I think it was marketed to go with a kind of overall beach theme. I am going to have to put Elsie in the cute tier though, as again, it's the same situation. It's got quite a simple outfit with an apron, which denotes she's up to some sort of work because she's got the apron on, but without her bike accessory, it's not immediately obvious what that work is. I do really love Elsie though, and when she's got her bike, she looks absolutely adorable. We've then got Dolly Dale down here. Dolly, an aunt of the Dale family. Also from the Flair era, and she came with a candy floss bike. Very similar looking set to Elsie's. But again, I'm going to pop her into the cute tier as her uniform, whilst a little bit more recognisable as a uniform than some of these others, because it is a dress with the apron sewn in. Not all that dissimilar to the standard kind of mother outfit of the time. Here we have Lionel Grande, or Lionel Grand. He is a pianist, he works in the town. I'm going to put him in cute tier. His outfit is very cute. He has special moulded hands to be able to play the piano, but he also could be mistaken for a groom or a wedding guest. If you know he's a pianist, then it makes sense, but if you didn't know that, I don't think it's maybe as instantly recognisable as some of these other outfits. Here we have William Cinnamon. He is another figure from the Town series, and he is very obviously a bellboy. He came bundled in with the Town series Royal Grand Hotel, words to that effect, the hotel from the Town series. And I love his uniform. It's very distinctive, very obvious what he's meant to be doing. I'm going to pop him in adorable just because the way his feet are molded, he is a little bit difficult to pose and stand up in a way that some of these other figures aren't. Maybe that's a little bit mean. He's literally kind of here on the cusp between adorable and perfection. The uniform is great though, I love it, really fun one. Some more icons of Sylvania. This is Basil and Suzette, the chef and waitress set. They first appeared in the Tomy era and they were marketed to go with the Harvester restaurant, or the Village restaurant, I think, if you were outside the UK. We have a brand called Harvester who run restaurants, so it was another collaboration piece. They then had a reissue. I'm not sure whether they were sold separately or whether they were packaged in purely with the Regency Hotel. That's how they came to be in my collection. And these are perfection. Basil, very obviously a chef. It's a little difficult to see in this picture, but he has a kind of minty green tie around his neck that just brings a nice pop of colour to his uniform. I love his chef hat. It is a really good shape, possibly the best shape of any of the chef hats here. It just really looks like a chef's hat. And then Suzette is wearing a uniform that's a little similar to these in that it's pink and white. It's got this very pretty lacy apron sewn in and a matching headdress on a pink band, very much giving the waitress vibes. Down here we have two more of the hotel workers, and I got these four bundled in with my Regency Hotel, but I think these were also sold separately. This is Mr. Cheshire and he came with a butler's set. He is a Cheshire cat and the husband of Grace. I'm going to pop Mr. Cheshire in cute tier. Again, if you didn't know he was a butler, you could mistake him for a wedding guest, a pianist, any sort of worker who might be wearing a smart uniform. I do love the idea of a Sylvanian butler though. And then here we have Mrs. Bassett. I can't remember her first name off the top of my head, but this is her husband over here. This is Kelly. Mrs. Bassett is the housekeeper at the hotel and she came in a housekeeping set which had a Hoover and some various other cleaning products for her to do her housekeeping duties. I'm going to pop her in adorable tier. I think her uniform lends itself quite well to denoting that she's a maid or a housekeeper, but she could also be potentially mistaken as working in a cafe. So that's why she's not going up in perfection tier, but I love this character. The Hoover that she comes with is a really fun accessory. Here we have Stella Chocolate. So I've included Stella because she comes bundled in with a few different buildings in the town. So she comes with the Grand Department Store, she comes with the Elegant Town Manor, she comes with the Designer Studio and also the Boutique. 4 different versions of Stella. I've just picked this one here as it's the one I think most people will recognise. This is the one from the Grand Department Store. She has the same job in all the sets. She's a fashion designer. So I've just included her the once. I'm going to pop her in cute tier. Her outfit is lovely. This dress is extremely pretty. I love the beret with the lace coming off it and the details. She's got a lovely gem here, lots of lace sewn on her dress. If you know she's a fashion designer, I think you can definitely see it. But if you didn't know that that was her job and you just were kind of looking at her, you might just think she's wearing a particularly pretty or formal dress. So uniform-wise, I don't think it's the clearest. And the other versions of her are in equally pretty but equally non-uniformy dresses. But I guess what really is the uniform for a fashion designer? I don't think there probably really is one. Here we have another twin pack set. So this is Grace Cheshire and Kelly Bassett. They are the pianist at the Grand Hotel and also the singer. They also came in a different set with Grace in a different outfit, Kelly in the same. That was the waltzing couple set. Also marketed to go with the Grand Hotel and be used in the ballroom. I'm going to pop them in cute tier. It's the same problem as these really. If you didn't know that Kelly was a pianist, you can mistake him for a groom, a wedding guest, just being in formal attire. The same for Grace. If you didn't know she was a singer or a dancer, you could just presume that she's wearing a nice pretty dress. She's out to a fancy party or wedding or something like that. So uniform-wise, they're not the strongest, but lore-wise, I think they're very cute. It's nice to have some performers. Nice for the Sylvanians to have access to the arts. Here we have the mother of the willow deer family, and I can't remember her first name off the top of my head either. She comes with the donut wagon. Her outfit is a cute one. It's donut themed, but she is unfortunately going in cute tier just because the quality of the fabric on the uniform is not great. So I like the pattern, but this underlayer is basically the same kind of fabric they make the towels out of, the Sylvanian towels, which I wasn't super in love with. The top of the outfit's very cute, and she's got this cute little plastic visor. I think it is definitely obvious that she works in some sort of donut-based profession, being that she has donuts on her dress and sprinkles. She is a very cute figure, just the quality of the fabric in the outfit is letting it down a little bit. Then we have Matteo Latte, or Matteo Fortana. He is a latte cat, the father of the latte cat family, and he works on the new burger wagon. His uniform is quite similar to the ones from the Brick Oven Bakery, which I thought was interesting. I don't think they're probably related, but he could definitely be their kind of mobile driver. Maybe that's where he gets his buns. I'm going to pop Matteo in the adorable tier. I really like his uniform. Whilst I don't think it's particularly obvious that he is working specifically on a burger stall, I think it is obvious that he's working in some sort of food kind of profession, being that he has this apron. And I guess because the uniform looks so much like the Brick Oven Bakery, just kind of in my mind, it immediately conjures up images of him working with food. The latte cats are extremely cute. I like them a lot. So that is definitely helping his case. Then we have another who slipped through the cracks. So this is the meerkat father from the Spotter family. This is not his jacket. This is from the takeaway pizza counter from the Flair era. And it's another set where it came with the bike, a pizza oven, lots of accessories, and just the jacket. No figure wearing the jacket. But he has been wearing this jacket since the early 2010s. So I think in my mind, he is the figure that goes with this jacket, but in the actual Sylvanian lore, he is not. I do like this jacket. It's kind of poofy. It reminds me of the jackets that the Pizza Planet employees wear in Toy Story. I'm going to put it in cute tier just because it only comes with the jacket. It didn't come with any trousers, so you couldn't make the whole uniform, so someone just wears it over their existing outfit. I think Mr. Spotter was a good choice because his trousers do look like they could go with the jacket. He's wearing an all-in-one kind of jumpsuit under that jacket. So I think it works pretty well, but it's going in cute tier because of the lack of figure. Then we have another Town Series figure. This is Emil Midnight. He's from the Midnight Cat family. He's the older brother and he is a tailor. I'm going to pop him in cute tier as he's suffering a bit from the same problems as Stella. His outfit is absolutely adorable, very smart, love the matching trousers and bow tie, but I wouldn't say it's immediately obvious as a uniform. Whereas Roxy and Cecile up here are giving me kind of seamstress, handicrafty vibes. So they've got kind of aprons and things built into their uniforms. He just looks like he's out for a nice dapper day on the town. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but it might have been nice to include an apron for him where he could like put his scissors or his tailor's chalk and things like that, just to stop him from getting his nice clothes messed up when he's working in the shop. We're on to figures that I either don't have or in the case of this one is still in the box and I haven't unboxed yet. So this first one here is from the Lodere collaboration set and it's Freya in the Lodere uniform. So this is a kind of cafe uniform. From what I understand, this is pretty much what they wear as the uniform in Lodere. So I think that's really cool. For that reason, it's going in adorable. Really looks like a cafe uniform, and it's a bit more modern than some of these older ones. I do like it. I like that it's black. We very rarely get black clothes on the female characters in Sylvania, so that's a nice kind of point of differentiation. And if it is correct that this is what actual uniforms for the staff and Nodore look like, then that's really cool attention to detail. Then this one is I think this is the Lopez Chihuahua mother, but thinking about it, I think this might be another outfit set that doesn't come with a particular figure. The outfit itself is for the hamburger shop, but let's rank it anyway because it's a really cool uniform. I'm going to put it in adorable. I love the vibe of the uniform. It really goes with the hamburger theme. It kind of has a ketchup mustardy kind of vibe. I like the green striping on the apron. It's got a little visor as well. The only downside is it doesn't come, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't come with a figure. If it came with the Lopez Chihuahua, it would go up into perfection for me. I don't have this one in my collection, but it's one I'd like to get because I think it's a really cute uniform. Then we have the McCavity cat, either older sister or mother, I'm not sure. I don't have this figure in my collection, but she's from the Epoch Era ice cream shop. I really love this uniform. It's very pretty. I'm going to put her into adorable tier as well. I love the yellow gingham, yellow bow, and the matching little ear bow that she's got going on, also of yellow gingham. She's giving cafe vibes, and once you know it's ice cream, kind of makes sense that she's in this kind of very lovely summery yellow colour. I think it's a very, very pretty dress, and I'd like to add this figure to my collection at some point. Then here is the final one where I think I have messed up, and the outfit that is being worn is actually made up of just outfit pieces rather than coming with the figure. So this is the Walnut Squirrel father, and the uniform pieces come bundled in with the hot dog van, but as far as I'm aware, the figure does not. However, there is a sticker of him wearing this uniform included with the hot dog van, so I think he is meant to be the figure that you would put this uniform on. So let's rank it on that basis. It's got a cute little red visor, and it's a stripy apron. I'm going to put it in cute tier as it only comes with the two pieces and not the rest of the uniform set. I think this is probably his standard clothes. I like the yellow if that's the case. That really fits with the hot dog vibe with the red and the yellow. I do not have this figure in my collection though, so I can't recreate this uniform. So it's going in the cute tier. And here we have another older Tomy era figure. This is Nanny Timbertop, and she's wearing a very similar outfit to Florence Merriweather, just without the red cross on her hat. For that reason, this one is going in cute tier because she looks like actually, I think it's going in could take or leave it. I don't have this figure, and she looks like a nurse to me, but she's not. She is a nanny. So I think I always found that a bit confusing. Just not really fussed about this figure. I like the normal version of the Timbertop mother just quite a bit better. Then here we have Professor Merriweather. Not sure of his first name, but he is going into the adorable tier. He is a teacher, and he came with a kind of teaching accessory set. I think he was only available through the Tomy Era fan club though, so he's a little bit hard to get a hold of. I really like his outfit. He's got the very traditional teacher's cloak, and he's got these Harry Potter glasses going on. I think it's quite obvious that he is a teacher, just from first look at him. My only complaint here is I wish he had a different colour trousers so that the cloak stood out a bit more. Maybe if he had grey trousers, just so that it looks a little bit less like he's wearing a jumpsuit and a little bit more like he's wearing the very long black teacher's cloak. Then here we have Betty. I think the surname is Hazelwood. And Betty came with a toy shop. I think the official set name is Betty's Toy Box. Betty is going in the cute tier. I don't have this figure, but I would like to get her because I believe she is Basil's wife. And it would be nice to get Basil reunited with his wife. She's going in cute tier though, because the same as we've said before, she's just wearing quite a simple dress and apron. She looks like she's up to some work, but I wouldn't really call this a uniform since it's the same as what the other mother characters of the time were wearing. On to the last 5. Let's rattle through these. I think I've probably been going for quite a while again, hopefully not as long as the other tiering video I did though, or I'm going to have a nightmare editing. But this is Madeline Merriweather, I think. Madeline. And she came with a fashion boutique shop. I think it was called Madeline's Boutique. I like Madeline, but I'm gonna pop her in Could Take or Leave. This particular set, it's a very, very bright, almost aggressive, hot Barbie pink, and it's not my favourite building by a long, long way. I feel like if I got Professor Merriweather, then Madeline would probably follow because I'd want to have them reunited. But at present, whilst I don't have Professor Merriweather, I'm not too fussed about getting Madeline either. Her outfit, again, it's a bit the same as Stella's. Once you know she's kind of a fashion designer, boutique owner, it makes sense that she's wearing this kind of fancy, flashy, dressy outfit, but that could just be her fashion choices, so I don't think it's immediately obvious as a uniform. Then we have, I think this is the Barker mother character, and she is from the souvenir shop. So that was a building that came out with the Sylvanian Games series in 2012. I'm going to pop her in Could Take or Leave. I already have the Barker mother, and I think she might be wearing this outfit. If she's not, it's a very similar one. I'm not too fussed about getting this building either. Again, I wouldn't say that this is a particularly special uniform or anything like that, so she's just not really on my priority list to add to my collection. Here we have Periwinkle Rabbit, I'm presuming mother or aunt, and she comes with the latest nurse set. So this is the nurse uniform again, but this time in a pink variant. I'm going to pop this in Adorable. It's very much the same as this outfit, just in a pink variant, slightly different pattern. I think it's very obvious she's a nurse, even if she wasn't pushing that medical trolley. Very cute uniform. I actually really like the pink colour. I think it just pops a bit more than the plain white, but we do have quite a lot of nurses in the range, so probably not one I'm going to rush to add to my collection. Then we have the Persian cat mother from the latest Doctor set. She is going in Adorable. I absolutely love that in this latest set they've made the mother the Doctor. It's nice to see some progression in the kind of job roles that women in Sylvania are getting. I like that she's got the kind of medical green trousers on. It's nice that she's wearing trousers. That's not something we see very often on the female characters. I think she's quite progressive. Actually, I'm going to move her up to perfection. I really don't like the set she comes with at all. The accessories in it, I just really, really don't like them. But as a uniform and as a character and as a job goes, perfection for Sylvania's first female doctor. Love it. And then last but not least, we have the Fennec Fox mother. I think her name is Sharon Fennec. And she is in this very fun citrus-themed outfit. She is the driver of the fruit bus. That is a bus for the nursery-sized babies. So I guess you could also say she's kind of a nursery teacher kind of situation. I'm going to put her in cute. I really like this outfit. I think it is very cute. It's not one that I would personally rush out to add to my collection, as I'm not really too worried about getting the fruit bus. I do like it though. I especially like the citrus slice beret she's wearing, and I think it's very obvious that whatever she's doing is definitely fruit themed. And that is everything. That's the whole tier list, and we didn't put anyone in Not My Cup of Tea. And that brings us to the end of the video. I really enjoy making these tier lists. It really makes me think about the figures that I've got in my collection that I haven't got in my collection that I'd like to add, or maybe that I'm still not too worried about adding. I think it's easier to do smaller cohorts like this rather than going for every single family. That one was quite long. I have a feeling that this one is going to be quite long as well though when I get to editing. I feel like I was waffling and yapping on quite a lot. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. Do you have a particular favourite uniform in Sylvania, or someone who has a favourite job, or a job that you are really jealous of and you'd like to have? Personally, I would like to take Christopher Appleblosom's job and work in the watermill bakery. Or maybe not take it off him, that seems a bit mean. Maybe just work alongside him at the watermill bakery. It feels like that would be a very nice job, and I bet the smell in there is divine of the fresh bread. But that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now!